let's go into that one sneaky thing, sticking limbo in limbo. Sticking limbo in limbo. It's early in the morning. That one sneaky thing, sticking women in weight loss limbo forever. And let's get you out of that. So to tell you kind of how this is happening, I want to share a story with you. So there was this general, and he was in charge of this great, huge army. And they had to cross the sea to go battle this enemy, okay? Now, it was a treacherous journey. Most of the ships didn't even make it. But when they reached shore, they even realized that, wow, the odds really aren't in their favor. The enemy had more than like 3 times as many troops as them. And it didn't look good. And all of the soldiers were getting really depressed and nervous. You could kind of feel it in the air that they were scared. They were going to die. And so this general, he didn't know what to do. So he decided to do something really drastic. He called all the soldiers in and he said, go burn your ships right now. Set them on fire. They were all really confused, but they trusted their general. So they respected him and they set their ships on fire. The entire fleet, all the ships that they took to get here were now burnt to a crisp. All ash in the ocean. And now an angry soldier came up to the general and asked, why did you do that? How are we going to get home? And the general said, the only way that you are going to get home is if you defeat your enemy and you take their ships. You see, what the general did was he didn't leave any other option, any other path than the path to victory. See, he cut off any other option. So you had to fully commit to success or failure. He burned the ships. And because of that, the soldiers now didn't have an option but to be successful. And they went on to win. And they went on to get home back to their families, back to their children in their enemy's ships because of this general's one crazy drastic move. And it kind of symbolizes, burning your ships is going to the point of no return. And that can be a very scary and uncertain place that we're not used to being. And so most oftentimes we don't do that. See, I remember when I was trying to lose my weight and I tried, diet after diet after diet after diet. I tried keto and I tried different types of intermittent fasting and cutting my carbs out and cutting my sugar out and starving myself and calorie counting and detoxes and cleanses and shakes and pills and Herbalife and I just did my blah, 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 blah. Gosh, I tried so much stuff. It was awful. None of it seemed to work for me. None of it seemed to fit. It was like there was always something missing or something was wrong with me. I just kept falling victim to the same pattern of starting a diet, maybe being motivated for a week or two, maybe a month if I was lucky, falling back into old patterns and then gaining the weight back. And it got so bad that every single time I started a diet, in my head, that little voice in my head would always say, it's not even going to work. What's the point? It's not even going to work. What's the point? Yeah, good luck. Yeah, right. Like I had a bully in my own head. And it was kind of like I was just dipping my toe in. I was dipping my toe into this program, to this diet, to this new thing I was trying. And so I never really committed to it. I never really burned my ships and gave it my all. And this really became clear to me one summer. I went camping with my husband, Ryan, and he was just my boyfriend at the time. And we went to these jumping rocks. We saw all these people having fun jumping off rocks. And he's a daredevil, so he was just like sprinting and like shooting his whole body off rocks. And I don't know, he just trusting Jesus to take care of him. And because he was just my boyfriend, I wanted to impress him at the time, right? So I was like, okay, I should probably jump off a rock. It kind of looks fun. I'm a little nervous, but I should give it a shot. So I climb up the rocks and I'm standing over the edge. I'm like, holy crap. Has anybody done that before? Like jumping rocks? It's definitely an experience. And I'm kind of asking him for tips because I'm getting really, really nervous, right? The longer you look down, the farther it looks from the ground, from the water. And so he said, listen, if you're going to jump, you have to jump. You can't change your mind last second. You can't change your mind halfway through. If you do that, you're going to hit the rocks at the bottom. And I was like, whoa, it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Oh my goodness. In my entire weight loss journey, I have been unintentionally hurting myself because I haven't been committing to the jump. I've only been dipping my toe in, changing my mind halfway through, not believing that it was possible, not fully committing, not fully burning my ships. And so in that moment, I said, okay, I have to burn my ships. I have to make a decision that I'm going to be successful no matter what. Because life is hard. Weight loss is hard. But so is getting sick from being unhealthy. That's hard. So is not being able to keep up with your kids, your grandkids. That's hard. So the good thing is you get to choose your hard. But if you don't choose your hard, life will give you your hard. And so in this moment, kind of standing over these rocks. I committed, I jumped. It's terrifying, but here I am today. I survived. And it taught me an amazing, amazing lesson. You see, I always thought that I would be the girl that would just never like taking pictures. Like I'd just always be uncomfortable in pictures. I could never take a candid photo. I'd have to, if I'm sitting down in a picture, I want like a pillow over my stomach, or I have to have my hand on my hip so that my arm looks thinner. Or I thought, I could never wear a cute little tight dress. I had to always choose kind of the flowy dress so nothing clung to me, and my arms were really big so the sleeves were always so tight. I just thought I would never be able to wear cute things. I just had to stick to the flowy things. I even remember just thinking, maybe I'll just never be that vibrant girl again. The girl that everybody stares at when they walk into a room because she's like has this contagious energy. I thought maybe I'll just never be that girl again. Maybe I'm just going to be a 6 out of 10 for the rest of my life, but at least I got a pretty face. I actually thought these things because I had failed so many times. I let failure define what I thought was going to happen next in my future. And so I stopped diving head first. I kept dipping my toe in and subconsciously telling myself, this isn't going to work. What's the point? It's too hard anyway. My body's not going to work right. If it hasn't worked already, why would it work now? And so what's cool is when you burn your ships, you cut off every other option. There is no more noble of a cause to dedicate your life to than mastering your body and becoming the best, healthiest version of you. I'll wait. Tell me something more noble. Tell me something more worthwhile in your life. Because if you're not right, no one around you is right. No one around you can reach their potential if you are not helping them reach their potential by you reaching your potential. What type of example have you been setting? It's crazy to think that the reason I see most women stuck is simply because of our past. We failed again and again. We think it's not going to happen. And so we don't fully commit to the next thing. And we live in limbo. We live in limbo, coasting in the background, not unhappy, but not thriving and happy. But there's more to life. Getting a transformation is more than just looking good, although that's a hell of a perk, let me tell you. It's about feeling accomplished, feeling proud. Because the word decide in Latin literally means to cut off. Cut off every other option, but to be successful. But somewhere in you, you knew you had to burn the ship somehow. You didn't understand the concept, perhaps. You didn't know that that's what you had to do, but you knew you didn't want to stop trying. But it's not about not trying anymore. It's about trying, but that's still not good enough. It's about trying with the right intention. And that's been the difference that's been keeping you in limbo. You've been trying, but trying not expecting a good outcome. Try expecting the best, because we always say, I don't want to get my hopes up in case I'm disappointed again. Well, then what are you ever going to be excited for in your life? That's like a miserable life, never letting yourself get excited. So what if you get let down by 1 or 2 things in your life? You still got to experience the joy of being excited about it. But let me tell you, this is one thing you won't get let down on. So let yourself be excited. Decide, cut off every other option but to be successful on this journey. Whatever success is going to look like, because success looks different every single day for you, what you're capable of, what season you are in. But you have to decide, no more dipping your toe in. It has been hurting you and keeping you in limbo. This is the time, this is the challenge. You can say, it's going to work. It can't not work because I'm going to commit, because I was sitting right where you are. And I just needed someone to shake me and say, believe. Burn your ships. No other possible outcome. You can do this. You can do this. You see, this story always reminds me of one of our ladies that joined our one-on-one private coaching program. Her name is Lorett. And Lorett came to us because she hit the heaviest weight she'd ever been. And she tried every diet. She tried this weird popcorn diet. She tried every weird diet. Some I haven't even heard of before. It was crazy. And she was just super burnt out of options. She thought maybe she was too old for her metabolism to work properly to actually see the number that she wanted. So she was like, maybe if I could only lose 5 pounds, I'd be happy. When really she wanted to lose over 50, right? But she kind of over time didn't want to get her hopes up. So she said 5 pounds is realistic. So she came to us, we sat down, we built out a super sustainable plan that really focused on kickstarting her metabolism after years of yo-yo dieting and kind of ruining it, kind of killing it. But what's so cool is Lorett lost 60 pounds with us. Okay, she lost 60 pounds when all she wanted was maybe 5, But Lorett is like the definition of a woman that burned her ships, because I remember this woman showed up to every single coaching call I had, every coaching call. And if she missed it for some reason, she'd watch the replay. And not only that, I have a podcast. It's called Lose Weight with Maddie Barra. Lose Weight with Maddie Barra. It has over 150 podcast episodes at this point. Lorett listens to them on repeat all the time. I bet she's listened to the episodes like 3 times each. She burned her ship. She didn't give herself an option but to be successful. You see, if health is the most noble thing you can strive for in your life, becoming the master of your body, the best version of yourself, and at the end of the day, if you can look at all the decisions that you've made in that day, if health has not been the number one decision, the most amount of decisions being made for you and your health and your growth, if that hasn't been the number one and the most amount of decisions you've made in a day, I'm sorry to say, but we're doing it wrong. If it's the most important thing, it should be made the most decisions from. And Lorett always reminds me of that. She just went head first. She didn't miss a single coaching call. You guys getting this? Is this making sense? So I want you guys to burn your ships. I know you got your torches right now. You got your torches. You lit the torch. That's how you start this challenge. But now in your mind say, this is my only option. This challenge has to work. This time has to work. Say it. Don't be afraid. Say it. And look how you approach things different. Look how your mind changes. Your personal growth will expand. It's crazy. So burn your ships. This is the time. No more looking back. No more self-doubt. You will be successful.